What if I had one on my head and one on my face?
Well, ask the audience because folks can let us know. All right. It's another 420. It's been a long week this week. My name
It
is Jody
feels that
James.
way.
It
It feels
has
that
been.
way.
My name is Jody James. I'm the president of Florida Cannabis Action Network. And with me today, of course, is my lovely co-host, Cynthia Brewer, who is playing with glasses. So those are a little reflective.
These are reflective, but the other ones are too big.
Let me
So
see.
these are
Let me see.
I mean, yeah, our listeners can weigh
I
in,
mean,
but
mine are reflective.
I know when something, I mean, I kind of dig them because they look like a nerd, but they're so big.
I get
But
a
they're
little
both
glare on it, but
reflective.
I got glare too.
I don't like the glare. So I'm just gonna go without. If I'm driving without glasses, call the cops like at nighttime, but like in the daytime, I'm fine. Who needs to see everything?
Well, you know, the purpose of elevated intel is that we have, a little bit of sight on these things. So let's not start the next episode by saying we're blind, okay?
No, no, no. Yeah, I definitely have good vision, just not at nighttime. So the show
I
is
got
420,
okay.
and we are not blind. We have all of the everything. And I'm going to tell you something that's going to really like put a feather in your cap. I like that term.
Okay. Tell me
The
more.
stuff that we reported on last week was reported on with another cannabis podcast this past Wednesday.
Nice.
Verbatim, like the same topics and everything. It's not a very big podcast, but it's almost like they took our words and then they were announcing them over again. So it's like we're getting the message out twice, just two
Excellent.
different people.
Well, you know what? We have a lot of members who are part of Florida Cannabis Action Network. Part of what we're trying to do with Elevated Intel is make sure that the most important ideas are out there. And what do they say? Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Though I think payment is definitely second to
Yeah.
imitation.
We'll send them a bill, but I think it's great because if they're getting their content from us, that means we've
100%.
got content to give and we're giving
And
it
it's
to the people
quality.
first.
Absolutely. And we can be assured that what people are getting is good information. One
Absolutely.
of the problems we had coming out of legislative session last year is a lot of people didn't understand the process. They heard bills had passed, and that was 100% true, but not right.
And that's
Uh,
an interesting point that you brought
so
up because
we gotta get some good information.
well, the campaign that Ron DeSantis ran last year was a very aggressive, very prohibit like
Let's
anti-amendment 3, and everybody, it affected a lot of voters because there were people that were pro-cannabis, that were patients, that actually voted against it because of what he said. Now, for all of you that thought, why would he have lied? Well, there was a bill that was introduced this week, and a companion bill, one in the House, one in the Senate, that's going to dive pretty deep into his activities and how he spent Medicare money that was supposed to go to Floridians on his campaign on anti-cannabis, anti-amendment 3. So he did intentionally provide information that was untrue, fake, uh, not accurate. I'm trying to be polite, but he
right.
reported to all of the masses that this was not what it was, and people voted accordingly. And now he's going to be held accountable.
Well, I mean, there's still a reverb. Is that the government accountability bill that
Yes.
finished? Yep. Maria Hurley, our immediate past president, was very interested in that. If you are interested in doing a deep dive on all of the bills that are going to be happening around cannabis, we're going to be doing that as Florida Cannabis Action Network in a private session on Wednesday evenings. So if you're interested in the deep dive, join Florida Cannabis Action Network. It's $5 a month or $50 a year to
And I'll
get
let you
yourself
look at
involved.
my
The
gospel,
binder. That's right. Uh,
all of the everything.
so we also have a bit of a spreadsheet that's available to members. We'll be getting that out to our membership. Jamie Treadwell with Treadwell Farms had asked to make sure that we make that public for our members, and we'll make sure to do that. Pretty valuable information. But I was thinking about this Ron DeSantis thing, and we really have not talked a lot recently about what's happening. And there's some grand jury investigations over that stuff. So
Really?
not only, yeah, there was. So we know a couple grand juries. So don't be surprised if that one doesn't come back. Um,
But
so
we
what
can't
was it?
put the toothpaste back in the tube. He actually was successful in his attempt to get people to change the mindset. Now, we
57%.
tried really hard to say, everybody, it's a one topic, one subject. But now I kind of feel like we sang the truth, which was you can only ask mom and dad for one thing, Santa for one thing. And we asked for
That's all you
adult
get.
use over 21. And then he said, well, why aren't they asking for home grow? Well, because that's not the rules. But this time they are asking for all the other things. But
We'll
is that going to
see.
mean they're not going to make it through Supreme Court review? Or does
Well,
that
so
mean he was
February
right?
5th, and we'll find out. February 5th, we're going to be in Tallahassee. I mean, we're going to be in Tallahassee all of the remainder of session, but Smart and Safe is going to be at the Supreme Court on February 5th, and I intend to sit in the audience
Good.
unless there is something that I need to be speaking on at the legislature. But yeah, I think it'll be very interesting. And we'll know on February 1st whether or not they have enough signatures. So we still have a few more days. I know they've been going door to door with Smart and Safe in the Panhandle. They have been doing more mailers to folks again. I know a couple of our members got that. And we're seeing a bill by Andrade and Gruder about smoking in public. And I have to wonder if that smoking in public bill, Representative Andrade would tell us he's an ally, he's a friend.
He
And
would.
Senator, he would, 100% he would,
And
depending on who's
Gruters,
asking. Gruters has said that he was pro legalization since he was elected as Kathy Jordan's representative, I don't know, 12 years ago.
we talked about him a couple like months ago on the show and talked about how brave he was and how a good champion. But now I feel like takes these back seasons in order.
If you eliminate public smoking by law, then Governor DeSantis can't come out and say we're going to have people smoking everywhere.
If people are offended by cannabis smoke but not offended by cigar smoke, then you're not a people. Quote me on that, Steve. Yeah, make that a soundbite, Steve, for TikTok. But I'm just saying, like,
I
cigar smoke was
100% agree.
excluded.
Well, that's how powerful the cigar lobby is.
Is it?
Yeah, 100%,
Well,
100%.
yeah, I believe
There
you.
are there are a number of legislators. I mean, the cigar is one of the oldest industries in Florida.
Right. However,
So,
does
how
Florida have a
old
lot of big cigar companies? Or do they get
your
them from
cities
another country?
distribution is the same as, right? But this industry is part of Florida's infrastructure. And the cannabis folks have not yet had enough time to make ourselves part of the infrastructure. I mean, it's fairly simple to me, but that no smoking bill is horrible.
Yeah.
And yet it's being done by our friends. And my thinking is that it has to be in order to keep the governor silent on that topic. It's the only thing I can come up with.
Okay, well, let's hope it doesn't. I mean, we're tracking 26 bills. If you
That what we're
count,
up to
I mean, I think
today.
it today is up to 28, possibly 29. I got to look at the language of the last one to see why it was categorized with ours, but that's a lot of bills to be tracking. Now, as you know, Jody, but many of the listeners might not know that the process is some are going to die a sad, slow, agonizing death because it's not their time. And that's a very hard realization to come to, especially when you're out in Tallahassee and you are championing a bill and supporting it, but it does not have any movement. It doesn't have a companion. It does not have support. It does not have committee assignments, or they won't hear it on committee. And it dies that slow, slow death. Or it gets
Well,
picked up in another bill and that gives it more life, but that's very rare.
uh, one of the things that lawmakers do is what is it that they call it? A message bill.
Okay. Oh, in
We're running
messages.
this. Well, no, we're writing this bill to send a message.
Oh, I thought you meant like in messages back and forth between the House and the.
Well, and I wanted to make sure I had the term of right, art right, because that is
Oh,
accurate. Things
so
go into messaging.
yeah,
But I
but
mean,
this is more of
sometimes
a like you mean like a showboat bill? Like a
showboat, do
no,
I
not
like
showboat.
the term? I don't like the term.
It's a
Um,
it's like a
what a statesman does. And it
mm,
you say something because it demands being said.
even if you know it
You
won't pass.
even if you know it won't be heard, you know that it's right. We had medical marijuana bills for 3 years
Yeah.
before we had a medical marijuana bill that got a hearing.
And the sponsor of that bill was not exactly a super duper champion, but at least he got it across the finish line. I mean, yeah, so we could always go back in the past and think about, if the right person was put. I would love for that bill have been introduced by Jeff Brandes, Oscar Brannen, but like Jeff Brandes, special place in my heart, and so
Right.
I would have loved for that to be part of his legacy. Now, Rob Bradley is good man, and he still holds us in high esteem in the industry because we're grateful. But like Ray Rodriguez
100%.
had a bill, and I'm glad he didn't make it across the finish line. But there's some
Well,
people
we
you
had
want to
several.
champion.
One of the bills that we are absolutely giving Ray Rodriguez credit for and that we're pushing for this year is going to be our veterans bill. Um,
Absolutely.
you have some numbers on those bills handy. The veterans bill, do you have that up?
Of
She's
course,
got it on your,
I
there you
totally
go.
do. I'm pulling it up as
880,
we speak. Okay,
887,
I'm going to get
883.
my
Give it
super
correct.
secret summary out. So I've
Okay.
got so the home cultivation of cannabis is SB 776. The bill that was introduced,
Yay!
we have
By Senator.
a new bill today. Do you want to announce that one?
I want you to. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay.
Drum roll.
I can't do both. SB 1398, availability of marijuana for adult use by Senator Carlos Guillermo Smith, who is probably going to win Senator of the Year in the cannabis space from the cannabis space. But just saying, like brave and
Forever.
amazing. So you're saying Rodriguez has a bill?
Well, no, but Rodriguez was the
Oh,
very first person. Rodriguez is no longer
I
with
was about to say,
the
I don't even think he was in the
legislature.
Senate. I thought you were going to
He's
correct me. I was
not.
like, he's gone, but
No. Ray Rodriguez is actually, last I knew, he was working with the Board of Education. But
good for him.
Representative Rodriguez is the first one to introduce free veterans cards.
Oh,
That
so
was
you want to
his
know
idea.
the people this year that are supporting
I
the veteran?
absolutely. Uh,
Absolutely. We've
Here
got
in a few
Valdez,
minutes, Susan Valdez is sponsoring. And what's the number of Susan Valdez's bill?
HB 887.
887.
Okay. And that one has had a lot of, support and assistance by the Grateful Veteran Group that's part of FLCAN and Tara and Jeff DeMond and their people just that Valdez is their rep. So I think it's
No,
phenomenal that they were able to get close. And True Now is SB 974, medical marijuana use
it's a
registry identification cards for veterans.
This is a reduced fee bill. Here, if you are a member of Florida Cannabis Action Network or one of our supporters, you may very well be getting an email very shortly asking you to send a letter to your representative and your senator. Florida Cannabis Action Network has some pre-written letters for you. If you're following this on Facebook or watching us and found us on LinkedIn or X,
Any of the other social medias.
you'll be able to use the QR code in our announcement and use that QR code to get into the system and send a pre-written letter. We are going to be in Tallahassee next week. Any of you who've been listening for more than a minute realize that next week is Cannabis at the Capitol.
I've been stretching.
You
and then
should.
carbo loading and staying hydrated and getting good sleep beforehand, because I won't when I get there.
So, and this is a good time to start the added vitamins,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Because there's going to be a lot of
I
people, a
did
lot of
vitamin
people.
C for sure, because I can't get sick in Tallahassee. I have
No,
to be on point.
and you can't be sick before Tallahassee, and that's now. So keep hydrated. We're going to be there all day Wednesday, the 14th, and all day Thursday, the 15th. And we'd really like folks who can't come with us to Tallahassee to spend some time promoting our online campaign and our letter writing. You can call your senator, you can call your representative. We'd love that. That's even better. And what you're asking them to do, your call to action, is call your representative and say, please co-sponsor House Bill 887, reduce fees for veterans. It's that simple. Call your senator's office. You'll probably get a voicemail anyhow. I'm a constituent.
Yeah. Start with that.
Please, I'm a constituent. Please co-sponsor and support SB 974, reduce card fees for veterans. That's really all you need to do. You can use the QR code that you'll see in our live feed here in a few minutes to get into that campaign. Invite your friends to help. If you can't be in Tallahassee with us on Wednesday and Thursday, at the very least, make sure that you and your friends and your neighbors have spoken in a voice that will be heard in support of doing the right thing for Florida's veterans. We have some great bills. I love Senator Smith.
We love Senator Smith.
He is speaking the truth. That is where we need to go. And this new bill on open containers, and I don't have the number on the open container.
Open containers. I thought you meant this is Smith's bill. It's a thick, good bill, but it took a lot of paper and back and front too. It is substantial, and I like a good substantial bill.
It's hard to get them passed. Did you get a read on it? Did you want to do a deep dive on it? Or
are you
gonna say that
there's no way I could fake it, but I have not been able. I just got done printing it, and I like to highlight things, all of that.
So
open containers. We've got two bills about open containers, one in the House, one in the Senate. This one is not, this is in red on my list, HB 1003 and SB 1056. One is sponsored by Representative Black, and one is sponsored by Senator Martin. Now, the reason that these are in red on my list and not in green or yellow orange-ish, which is I don't know how I feel yet. I need to talk to an adult, but if you're in red, I've already made my decision. The open container one is so backwards. It just, to me, there's some language in there that looks intentionally confusing as to catch people in something that you forgot to remember not to do. So we all know you can't smoke weed while you're driving, right? You should not do that. You cannot do that. It says in the law that you have to be on private property. It's not, your car is not private property. And so you can't be smoking a J while you're driving down the street and expect not to get in trouble. But
that's the law.
That's the law. Okay. Now, when you're going from the dispensary to your home, or if you have medicine in your car, is all of the patients in Florida, are they all transporting it appropriately? Probably not. Let's be honest. I don't think they're always transporting appropriately. Sometimes the stickers get in the way and you take them off. Sometimes you put them in a different canister or whatever because you like to show off, whatever. But this bill talks about passengers and use, 100%. Locked trunks, locked glove compartments, or locked containers that I guess we have to have installed, because I can reach in the back of my SUV. It's locked from the outside, but not from the inside. And I don't have a lockable glove box, I don't think, unless I just didn't notice. But the intent of the language about open containers sounds alcohol inspired. Very much. But the way in which a law enforcement officer can get you in trouble for any of these really obscure activities is not defined. So it goes back to, how did you get to the point to where you caught me with a bad open container? Was I committing a traffic violation? Did you know I left a dispensary just now? Are you gonna tail me after I leave my getting my medicine heading home because you think I'll probably open it up, which is likely, or like there's no talk about having to have a previous traffic violation be the instigator for an open container. And I don't like that.
Well, nor would there be, because at one point in the bill, it said something about if you're just sitting on the car. I
Oh yeah,
mean,
if your car is stopped and you're sitting in it smoking or participating in cannabis, that is, yeah.
well, what if it's in my driveway and I'm sitting on it? Can I sit on my driveway and smoke and
Well,
read?
yeah, you're not committing a
Uh,
traffic violation and you're on private property, so technically you could. They also do
so,
carve out for if you want to hire a driver and you're in the back seat. Apparently, you can smoke in the back seat with a hired driver, which of course we have long Jason Statham money to, drive us around because
so I'm thinking my new cannabis business. I'm always thinking, what's my next cannabis business? Cannabis cab or cannabis limo. We had a friend who did the 420
yes,
limo. So
I would pay
that will be a
someone to
thing.
drive us to Tallahassee. It's
Ah,
a
well,
boring
that's
drive. We could medicate and we could do homework in the meantime, and it's a boring drive. So all
yeah,
the
that's true.
senators do it.
So there you go. We actually have a team that's going up. People are driving up from all over the state on Tuesday and Wednesday,
And Sunday and
one
Monday.
and Sunday and Monday, Saturday. Some of us even, but our past president Ethel Rowland has been told that she can sit in the back seat and play backgammon with my husband on Tuesday. So she gets to sit in the back seat and have somebody drive her up. Finally, right? Because Ethel went
Yeah.
for 11 years,
And you
10
guys
years,
have an
9 years.
RV.
We do
RVs
know
have
what?
a carve out.
No. Oh, good. Well, of course, because Burgess really likes his RV.
As long as it's not too many feet long, apparently. See, there's a lot of strategic language in there
Yeah.
where it's like somebody's motive is in here and I can smell it with my whole face.
Well, but there's some real points that we need people to know about Representative Black and Senator Martin's bills. And I want to say that name a lot because Representative Black is from the Jacksonville area, and we have strong support in the Jacksonville area. And Senator Martin is from Lee County, and we have strong support in Lee County. And Lee County needs to hear from Senator Martin needs to hear from Lee County, and Representative Black needs to hear from his constituents. You're having
There's
a
a
fun.
rocket going off right now, and the
Oh
whole place
well,
is shaking. I was like, I hope that I tried to mute myself. Yeah,
welcome to the Space Coast. I
I
love it.
know.
It'll shake here in a
I
minute
can
if
see
it's
it out
going
the
this
window, and
direction.
I'm like, the whole windows are like, blah, 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 blah. I was like,
The
so just a rocket. Sorry.
That's okay. Just another rocket on the Space Coast. These Black and Martin, this is talking about interfering with my constitutionally protected state legal medicine.
Yep.
Because the simple act, not even smoking in the car, we're not even talking about that. We're talking about an open container, and it's defined as not in its original package with its seal. So, how do I put that vaporizer back in the bottle and reseal that when
Oh,
I'm
you're
going
supposed
from
to
point A
vape
to point B?
on your battery, and then after you're done, unscrew it, put it back in the tube, and then
Unreasonable.
that is ridiculous.
3,500 people were arrested in Minnesota after adult legalization because they didn't put their cannabis in the trunk. I reported on that 5 weeks ago, and I'm telling you, people need to be paying attention, and we need to be vocal. I asked our team, I said, we need to individually ask ourselves, is my behavior with cannabis a threat to public safety or harming someone else? And if it is, we have to police ourselves.
Of
Because
course
if
we
we
do.
don't police ourselves, they're going to police us.
And 100% agree with you because that I couldn't agree more with what you said was very profound. I don't think the cannabis patients in Florida understand that if you choose to do things that violate the current landscape, although we are very grateful for the program that we have, if you choose to violate it, all of us are going to suffer. And then we will
100%.
retaliate on you like a bunch of rabid dogs, as if you are our own. But like you
I
took
hope.
away the one thing we worked so hard for. You are dead to us. You are
Well,
dead.
and we are moving backwards. I did this because the rocket is shaking my house now. So
Okay,
you can
see
tell
now
how far apart that Cynthia and I
I'm
live.
guessing it's going southeast because
I'm gonna
now
go
it's
that
hitting
way.
your neck of the woods.
Someone in Miami is starting to feel the burn.
I love
Um,
that.
so I'm very concerned about people taking us backwards, hard fought back victories. And one of the things that I said I wanted to talk about today during this episode was what is in Schedule 3 for the common person. Are you ready to talk about that yet?
I'm always ready to talk about things.
So you had some stuff from Congress.
Well,
Did you have some for the federal level?
just as yeah, from a federal level, the U.S. House of Representatives voted for the 2026 spending bill. Okay. And they actually, the vote was 397 yays to 28 nays on Thursday. It advanced the appropriation package to the Senate now, and it kept intact the protection from the Justice Department going after state run medical cannabis programs. So, pretty much in a nutshell, that means they will not be using any government money for the fiscal year of 2026 to do anything to our state medical program. They also removed any language about getting in the way of the rescheduling conversation. So,
Very good.
little victories,
Little
medical
victory.
programs, not adult use programs. They're not going to spend money trying to shut down any programs, regardless of what happens. And they're definitely not going to be talking anymore about stopping the rescheduling conversation. That's it. 397 to 28. That shows progress. House of Reps, it goes off to the Senate. We'll see how they do.
Throw that one.
I was going to do that. I was like, we're done with that story. It just keeps coming back every time I throw it.
So we've had two congressional reports come out since December 18th talking about legalization and what Schedule 3 means. And really, my concern is always about the average Joe or Jody or Josephine or Cynthia,
Whomever.
the average. I don't have a legacy business that I'm trying to leave to my children. I am forever trying to work Florida Cannabis Action Network out of its position, and we're volunteers anyhow, so it's not like it's a paid position. So there's nothing. Schedule 3 is going to do nothing for the person who is already using cannabis. I'm just not seeing it. It doesn't appear that it's going to offer us any legal protection. We will still be subject to whatever the state law is.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed to hear that they didn't include just cannabis, protecting cannabis programs
Right.
from congressional interference and from the Department of Justice interference, because we've built some substantial programs where adults are being treated like adults, where resources are no longer being put for misdemeanor marijuana crimes. But when you start looking at bills like the one that's introduced by Representative Black and Senator Martin,
Yeah.
that would allow, for no probable cause at all.
We don't
And
even have smoking in public right now. So they're like anticipating the future and already
so
prohibiting the activity.
hemp can be smoked anywhere the tobacco can be smoked. And that's what's causing all the fuss. They're smelling it. They
I
walk down the
don't
street
smoke
and they
hemp.
smell it. I'm a efficient. I was raised by Jack Herer. That is not what hemp is for.
He would be so mad if he found out that you were smoking hemp. But hemp is, well, I digress. But
Anyhow,
to us, it looks like they're preemptively prohibiting activities that we might be able to have in the event we go adult use. And
100%.
that could be in November, and they're doing it now. It's like they're taking all the air out of the balloons and at your birthday party before you even got to enjoy it.
So, well, and I am seeing some of that too. It's kind of what I'm feeling too. But you know, I am interested in the time and place where adults can use cannabis without fear. And I'm not sure that we're there yet. So if you're watching the broadcast and you're not a member of Florida Cannabis Action Network, I'll invite you again to join Florida Cannabis Action Network. We need substantial resources if we're going to really stay on the front line of this discussion. It is going to require a whole lot, people doing a whole lot of work. So,
You're talking
Florida
about
got some great
rescheduling.
bills.
You were talking
We
about
got some
rescheduling to the
scheduling.
lay person. And
It's going to do nothing for the layperson.
if you don't have a big business that's being
Nothing.
exploited by
Big
280E,
business.
then you're not getting relief. If you're
Well,
not,
but even if you have a big business that might get a little bit of tax relief,
right.
in order for you to be federally legal, you're going to have to get a DEA permit.
Yep.
You're going to have to go through the FDA approval
It's a
process.
long process.
This is not even going to automatically affect people who are in the industry.
Right.
But
But
at the end of the day, I want more products that offer relief.
uh-huh.
I want better access, and I want products to be more affordable for the average person. Right?
I like the rescheduling conversation because I feel like it finally legitimizes everything we've been saying for so long, even though it might not do anything for the day-to-day person on a day-to-day activity. We were right. And I want to say, I told you so. And that's it, because that gives me more joy to say, we've been telling you, and now you're saying it too.
100%.
And that legitimizes our
100%.
argument so we can fight harder for other
100%.
things.
It is a beautiful thing that the President of the United States acknowledged the real, tangible experience of more than 6 million people using a whole plant under the care of more than 30,000 physicians. I'm going to be speaking to the Florida Physicians Group next week. In the midst of our reception, I'm going to spend a little time with
when are you going to have any time to do?
In the midst of our reception, if you're a Florida doctor and you're not part of the Florida Physicians Group, I would certainly recommend that you get involved. You can private message us here and we can make sure that we connect you to them. We've got to come together on these things, but I really am looking forward to thanking them for being part of the 30,000 doctors that are helping patients to find relief with this medicine. I think that's a fabulous thing. But again, we're talking about the average person versus the average cannabis consumer. There are a dozen pharmaceutical companies, companies that have acquired interest in cannabis that are going to be moving prescription drugs through. That's going to be good for the average person. It doesn't keep the average cannabis consumer from getting arrested for having the seal broken. Right. Or from consuming your medicine in a place that somebody else doesn't like. No smoking in public. And that's just, I apologize for going back and talking about that smoking in public.
You're fine. This one is not a good bill. We don't like this one. This one in 689, HB 689, which is employer immunity from civil liability. That's red, because that one also says that the employer can fire you if they feel your cannabis use is making you bad at your job or affecting your job, and there's no metric or rubric or data set. It's all up here for them, and they are now protected if this bill passes. So open containers, employer protections, not employee protections like Polsky, parental protections, that's good stuff. The employers getting protected and being able to legitimately can somebody without feeling like they're going to get sued. Like
for their constitutionally protected medical use.
Medical use. Not for cannabis use.
Constitutionally protected. Can we all say constitutionally protected together, please?
Let's think of the worst case scenario. We work at a hot dog restaurant. We sell hot dogs from a kiosk, and we are not heavy machinery. We are not putting together spaceships that just went off. We are not making big decisions.
Not even cooking food.
Yeah, or cooking anything. Like I very rarely. We are just dipping hot dogs, dirty water dogs, and the boss can come and say, "We know you two are cannabis users because it's us and we work at a hot dog shop." He can fire us because he says you're not making hot
100%.
dogs fast enough, and we would have to go. We would have to take our cannabis smoking, hot dog making butts out of that mall kiosk and go find a new job. And that makes me sad that they have that power over a
No protection.
constitutional
No
protection.
protection. 10
That was a
years, 10,
horrible
10
example.
years, uh, 10 years into a program, 10
I
years into a
know.
program. It is embarrassing that Florida does not protect its
I can't
patients.
believe this is our 10-year anniversary. Is that like we
November,
put that in a
November
letter to the
2020,
lawmaker?
November 2016, 10 years.
10
Well,
years.
for next year, because
Yeah.
they passed it in 2017. We passed it at the ballot. It took them until July of 2017. Sorry, I have a moving desk. Oh my goodness. There
Oh,
we
there you
go.
go.
Nope, wrong way.
But but
Wait,
you're
I'm back.
very right when
Slide.
you say that there are people, there are wheels turning in Tallahassee. There's wheels turning in every market that are thinking almost 10 steps ahead of us, where we are so happy and grateful sometimes for what we have and the ability to medicate the way we do. We do want a little bit more. They're thinking, we gave them this. Now we need to take back a little bit more,
Well,
back. Like, how do we work in reverse? Like, Massachusetts is working in reverse with their ballot initiative.
we have 67 counties and 67 county sheriff department, and we have a really, really, really strong law enforcement presence. Law enforcement, uh,
Muscle,
machismo in Florida,
Mochismo. Hell yeah.
right? In
Yeah.
Florida,
Well, if you think
we
about
are
like different
tough
sheriffs
and
like Grady Judd and we've got Wayne Ivy,
hundred%
they have
machismo,
the
right?
swagger, the
Hundred
swagger.
percent, 100%. And the toys, they get tanks.
Animal, they protect the animals here in Brevard. Thank you, Wayne Ivy, but they both don't like weed.
So when they go up and they say, well, wait a minute, we've been using marijuana arrests to train our deputies, and we've been using marijuana arrests for seizures, and we've been using marijuana arrests to give us an opportunity to search for like
And we
fentanyl and
found all this
guns.
stuff because
For
marijuana
every
started it.
for every 44th pullover for the smell of marijuana, they might find a gun. And for every 400th, they might find a big package of something, but they will put 399 people through the ringer.
Yeah.
And these bills just take us right back to those days. And
And
I'm
it's
just tired of getting them.
Florida. Most people own guns in Florida, but like when I do research for the topics for the week, I do a very generic search, marijuana news, marijuana
Okay.
Florida news, and then I sort by date. And if you do that right now, or cannabis news, whatever you want, what have you, you're going to see the majority of the stories, like every other story, is marijuana and guns seized from Tallahassee man, and then an actual story about cannabis that's relevant or marijuana that's relevant. Then rapist, child predator rapist got caught with a bunch of marijuana. And then, so as long as we're reporting the marijuana as part of the bigger crimes, as if that had anything to do with it,
Right.
then we're still going to be looked at as like bad people. So I feel
100%.
like some of those news outlets need to just maybe leave that part out, because marijuana participants and users don't traditionally go home and like beat their wives or like, have like crazy outbursts when they're just on cannabis. So just like leave that part out of the story. If you seized a bunch of weed, but you mostly seized a bunch of fentanyl, just say you seized fentanyl.
Right.
We
100%.
Everyone just enjoys weed, so they're going to travel with it when they're bringing fentanyl over. But
Again, well, illegal marketplace has illegal things in it, and fentanyl is just as illegal
I
as
I
marijuana.
do not
So,
condone any fentanyl, anything nor fentanyl, the other portion of it, no, NOR, norfent, whatever. All
oh,
of that's
interesting.
bad.
Just
All
say
of it's
no.
bad.
Just say no.
I don't need it. I don't
Jerome,
want.
Jarrell is asking about is referring to the employment protections. God love you, Jarrell. You're 100% right. He says, what if the use actually enhances our performance and our
That's a
better work habits?
fantastic
Just like
freaking point.
under your story, I was like, well, no. If it's you and I and we're selling hot dogs, we
Yeah.
are not selling less hot dogs than some other non-stoner team.
If
We are outselling, we are
Oh
performing.
yeah, we
No,
are
I'm
selling
100%.
custom dogs, but he's saying if his performance is cannabis benefits his work performance. And to be
100%.
honest, I probably don't scream as much as at my worker at my employees than I would if I wasn't medicated appropriately. I'd probably
Well, there
make
is
more
that.
people cry, but I don't
There is
because
that.
weed. So yes, that's a fantastic freaking point, and put that in your letter to your senator. Like, I'm a better employee because dot dot dot. Now, some jobs are gonna always have a hurdle unless they remove it off the test. There is a story out there talking about saliva based drug screening, which includes norfentanyl, fentanyl, and all the bad ones, but it has marijuana on there. Now, it's not been validated by two different laboratories, which is required for them to implement this, but they said it's something that employers can do on site immediately to find out if someone is or under the influence right there, or if they're trying to apply for a job. Those saliva tests have to go through the ringer, but that's something that they're trying to introduce. I think marijuana should just be removed because, like, just take it off of the things. If you drive a tractor trailer for a company and you get in an accident and you have cannabis in your system, they're going to get you. Like workman's
100%.
comp claims, like there's nothing we can tell
100%.
you to give you positive outlook. That's
No.
just life. Government, that too. But if it's not on the test, you can't fail
Right.
for it.
Can't fail what you don't do. So to wrap it up, we have some excellent bills that have been introduced in the Florida House and Senate. We have some really scary bills that have been introduced in the Florida House and Senate. Florida Cannabis Action Network is going to be following all of them and updating you weekly here. We know that there's a little bit of action congressionally. Your state-based medical marijuana program is safe for now.
For
Uh,
now.
Again, it is legislative session and there are bills flying. Today at 5 o'clock was actually the deadline for bills. So unless it is coming from a committee, this should be the end of the
I'm
flurry.
actually kind of relieved because, like, seeing them pop up every day, like printing them, putting them in the table, reading them, highlight, like, I'm just done. My binder's full. My mind is full.
There you go.
I'm ready to argue.
The grateful veteran said his brain feeling a little squishy, getting ready for this, right? Because it's a big deal. If you have not signed up for Cannabis at the Capitol, if you want a t-shirt, you better do it right now.
It's not going to happen. I'm not going to. I am running a sweatshop 24 hours here, and I'm not even partially done. I leave on Monday, so I'm sorry. You're not going to get a shirt.
You'll get it later.
You'll get it later.
There you go. Always we have to ask, this is an organization that's run on your generosity and your donations. We thank you for sending donations through flcan.org/donate or giving us likes and stars, giving us stars. One of the ways that we increase our influence and impact is because you share, you send it to your friends, you like it, it gets up on the feed. We try to act nice so that it continues to go up on the feed.
We got 99 stars from David McKinney. David McKinney, that handsome fella. I mean,
my favorite barista.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's so cute. I think you have a thing for David McKinney. I can see it all over your David McKinney loving face.
I do have a thing. A couple bits of housekeeping. Our Vice President, Colette Florido.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you, Colette. All right, we'll be seeing many of our members in Tallahassee on Wednesday. We're starting at 8 a.m. in the lower level cafeteria. We have a private room for our exclusive use throughout the day.
Thanks 8 in the morning.
8 in the morning. There are
Okay.
other places that you can hook up with us throughout the day.
Okay, good.
If you're a registered attendee, you'll find that schedule in your packet. So we've got a private URL just for attendees so that they know where to be found. You should start getting text messages about the event over the next couple days and throughout the event, because we don't want anybody to feel confused or lost. We're really glad for all of the sponsors. Thank you again to all of the businesses. Kaija Lab, our
Kaija Labs,
sponsor,
business of the month.
our business of the month. That's right.
Thank you for the jazz hands.
I sent you a reminder. I need a picture of you and Chris and James so that we
Oh,
can.
yeah.
That's right.
All of us.
So that we can make sure to give you your dues. Operating in 8 states. That is really amazing.
9 states.
Operating in 9 states. Thanks for the
Get
correction.
it right.
All
No,
right. So anything else that I forgot to mention today?
You look lovely today in that beautiful scarf, and David McKinney is a lucky, lucky barista.
He is. We here at Florida Can, we are all about community and
family.
We would like to invite you to join ours. Thank you very much. Y'all have a great day.
Imagine standing shoulder to shoulder with hundreds of Floridians, business owners, and advocates inside the state capitol, ready to make real change. That's what Cannabis at the Capitol is all about. The signature Lobby Day and Education Expo from the Florida Cannabis Action Network, where voices intersect with policy and passion turns into progress. For just $50 for individuals, you'll gain access to expert briefings, self-guided meetings with lawmakers, and the power to influence Florida's cannabis future. For businesses, $300 unlocks premium access. Connect with decision makers, showcase your enterprise, and build alliances in a fast-growing sector. Whether you're a medical patient seeking stronger access, an entrepreneur navigating regulations, or a company ready to stand at the forefront of industry change, this is your platform. One day in Tallahassee could shift a lifetime of regulation. Join us. Be present. Be heard. Be the change at Cannabis at the Capitol.